Yes. So before you get into any business, you want to know your market, right? Because nobody wants to get into a business and you don't know who you're marketing to, and you don't know, how you're going to get the revenue for whatever business it is that you're getting into. So here we it's titled Know Thine Market. Okay, so in this slide, we go over these are the main 6 areas in this market that you can get into and be profitable in. Okay, so the main one, if you're here in this class, the main one is the Res Hab, which is your residential habilitation, and it is it's also considered your med waiver. Okay, and the other area or the other market is your foster home, also known as your host home. So with these 2 markets, your residential habilitation, which you should already know, and if you don't know, you definitely, again, you want to read policies and procedures. You want to look at the Florida statutes. So your residential habilitation, that is your group home. So that group home is going to be licensed by APD, and it requires you to have a home, and that home, it can be leased or it can be owned. Now, this home is the most profitable. You can make anywhere from as little as I want to say 15,000 at minimal, because here's the thing. Each home can be licensed for up to 6 people if you're a small group home. But then you also have the category of a large group home. And the large group home is 6 and up. Okay, so it just all depends. Most of the homes under this program, they are the small group homes. So they're from 2 to 6 individuals. Nobody, let me repeat, nobody has a group home or have started in this market to only service 2 individuals. For that, you want to move over to maybe a foster home or a host home type of market. Okay, so with the residential habilitation, okay, I'm moving a little bit ahead of myself. So the foster home and or host home, it does not require a license, and they have it under the same program, which is through APD, and it is a live-in situation most of the time. So most of the people who are in this market or who want to get in this market, no license is required. And so what happens is you get you fall under the license of a individual or a agency who is already licensed for a group home. So what that means is that if you have a home, whether you live in it, which is more ideal for homeowners, people who probably live in their home, or landlords. And so you live in, that's why it's called a foster home. It's to give individuals not more of a home-like environment, but a smaller, where they're living in home with a family, whether it's, a male, female, husband, wife, maybe a child or something like that. And it gives them, the opportunity to feel like they are a part of a family. Now with this home or this market, and I'm not going to go into depth here in this slide, because this slide is mainly just to go over the main markets within this industry. So with this market, you can make upward, and this again, it depends on if you're living in the home and you're a homeowner, or lease, or someone who leases, because people who lease, who are leasing homes, this market is for them as well. Or if you're a landlord and say you have a home and you want to use your home to make 5-10x what you would as a typical landlord, leasing your home to one family. Okay, so this home is, people are, just tapping into this market, and finding out, how lucrative it is for them, especially because of the fact that no license is required. So again, in this market, you would be licensed. I'm sorry, you're not licensed, but you would be under a agency who has a license. And so with this, what it would be called, how you would get paid. And again, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself, but a lot of people be wanting to know, they're eager to know the numbers behind it. So how you would get paid is it would be considered a stipend. And so that stipend would be what your agency, the person who you're operating up under, what that agency and you come in agreement to, as far as how much stipend you would collect on that individual each month. So most of the time it's half of what the individual is receiving. So let's say you're a nurse. Okay, I'm just going to go start there. Let's say that you're a nurse and you have a home, you live in your home, and you have no kids, you have 2 rooms. So you can put up to 4 people between those 2 rooms, because you can have 2 people in each room, and you can collect as minimal as $1,500 off of each one of those consumers, or off of each one of those residents. Okay, you can collect upward of $2,000, $2,500, depending on the level of care that you say you can handle within your home. And again, that's, that's moving further along. So the other homes are your assisted living facility. Now the assisted living facilities, they are all licensed by AHCA. If anybody know AHCA, it's the Agency for Healthcare Administration. Very strict. Not saying that APD is not strict, but AHCA, you require so much more. So for instance, AHCA, you have to show which in the residential habilitation as well, both markets and programs, you still have to show either through a line of credit for your business, or if you're signing up as an individual, or, a checking account where you have upward of $50 to $1,000 and a credit line or in a checking account, in order to show that you can sustain in the event, that you don't get any consumers within a certain, time frame. Because again, you want to be able, you don't want to open up today and 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the line, you haven't gotten any consumers, you haven't gotten anybody in your home, and now you're being forced to close or shut down because you didn't do your research in advance. So that's another thing that comes with opening up the homes where you're getting licensed. You're licensing that home is the startup costs. So the startup costs are going to be different for, pretty much each market. It depends. It just all depends on a number of factors. If you own the home, if you're leasing the home, if they require you to put in a sprinkler system, an alarm system, every county, every municipality, they have their own rules and regulations. So it is all based on the county that you're in, as far as what your requirements would be in that regard. Now, your adult family care home. Another market, really good market, is kind of like your foster home, host home, but this home, it's licensed through AHCA. It do require you to live in, and you can own or lease your home, the same with your res hab. So with this home, the money that you receive it's based on what you as an individual say that what you charge, what you decide that you're going to make your room and board fee, your room and board fee as. But for the most part, it's really determined upon what they're receiving in income. Your private insurance companies like your Staywell, your Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, what have you, they do pay you a fee or a stipend or whatever you want to call it to house these individuals in your home, but it is not as much as you get or you collect in a residential habilitation market. Okay. Your other market is your sober home. Not a lot of people, have heard about the sober homes. There are a lot of sober homes in the state of Florida, well over 8,000 to be exact. It is a saturated market. However, every market is saturated. You have to find your own niche. You have to find out, what niche within that market is going to, it's going to be a fit for you and one that you can obviously, make money off of. Everyone that is here that I'm presenting today, you can make a lot of money off of them. 5, 10, 20, 50, 60 times the amount of the income that you are making now. Yes, you can. And here's my thing, and I'm going to put a pause on, what I'm presenting right now is if you are not making, and especially if you have children like me. So I'm a mother of 7. I have 7 kids. So if you are not making a minimum of $10,000 a month, you're broke. And that's just the bottom line. You are broke. And the statistics show that, out of 100 people, one of them end up rich. 4 of them end up financially stable, financially independent, and 60 of them end up dead broke. And those are facts. Those are statistics. So again, that's just a side note that, look, if you're not making or bringing home $10,000 a month, you're broke. You need to get yourself, you need to buckle down. You need to get rid of some things. You need to make some sacrifices. You need to put the pen to the paper, and you need to figure out your life and your future. And you need to figure it out now because everybody can, we all can see that things are not changing. What used to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath costing $1,500 pre-COVID, now it's double that amount. So it's y'all need to make sure that you are aware of what's going on in the economy and what is going on as it relates to your finances, okay, and your future wealth. And this industry is just one vehicle out of a lot. Like, this is not, this is something that I live by. Like, this industry, once I found out about it, I'm like, okay, hold on, so, and a very small percentage of people know about it, so that's the thing. So I decided that I wanted to bring and educate people, and help people in trying to find a area, an industry that they can tap into, that you guys can tap into, and you can start making money right away. And so that takes me to the in-home healthcare part of this industry. So the in-home healthcare part of this industry, also known as your home health agency, you can be licensed by either entity. So the ACA, they license home health agencies. And again, ACA is, the state of Florida. So they are a little bit more, it's a little bit more red tape and, a lot more, they're a lot more stringent in, how in you obtaining those licenses. A lot of there's fees that come with it. as opposed to, your res hab being licensed on APD. You don't really have, there aren't any fees associated with that market. So this is the easiest. I'm not going to say the easiest, because all of it takes the same. You're going to go through the same process. You're going to go through the same paperwork, submitting the same policies and same procedures. For the most part, every industry except your sober home. The sober home, again, you do not have to have a license with that. But again, there is a caveat even with the sober home. And I'll talk about that a little bit later also. But your home health agency, it's the least minimal startup. You're only going to be paying for your state license, whatever state it is that you're in, to start up, to structure your business, as an LLC, or if you want to be independent, which I don't recommend that, because you can only service a certain amount of individuals. If you have it structured as an LLC or a corporation. So got a little brain fart there. Or as a corporation. But this is the quickest way for you to get in the industry, start making some money, start making some really good money. But you also require a lot of marketing in this market as well. Because you're servicing in this market, you can service a variety of different individuals, a variety of level of care, patients and or consumers in this industry, to where you have to, again, know your market. You got to know, where do I get these consumers from? Where do I get these customers from? And how do I get paid for them? And we teach you all of that. So that's the one thing about this, this course and this class, is that we teach you about a lot of different things where you can, get out there, jump off the porch and really start running, and really start making you some money.